are not new faces to Joyful Noise. You guys have been around. You guys have seen. Jerilyn does check-in for Joyful Noise. So if you've had your kids in Joyful Noise, you had to pass Jerilyn. So she was your girl. And then Ashley is also a leader, and she's been in there for this whole time. So we're just going to kind of get into what things are looking like as we kick off and what Joyful Noise is about and what's the heart behind Joyful Noise.
So I kind of do the music portion in Joyful Noise, and Joyful Noise is really kind of about learning how to worship God, singing songs together, and the community that brings. This last spring we kind of focused on what does worship mean, and we learned that it's more than just singing songs, and we learned about King David and how he worshiped God, and so that's really kind of the heart of it.
Well, I'm Jerilyn, and I am kind of the behind-the-scenes person. I do check-in and all of that.
And she does all of those emails that come out. So if you're a list follower and you want to know the details with all the stuff, she sends out awesome emails. So I'm just going to say that because I love them.
They're very colorful. Yeah, bullet points, color. Yeah. Well, the mission of Joyful Noise is that it exists to lead children to love God through music, teach them to experience the presence and power of Jesus, and empower them for a lifetime of service. And so we try to incorporate the kids as much as possible as far as just in the daily running of Joyful Noise and our practices.
Yeah, so that leads me right into my next question, because Joyful Noise is unique. So what are some of the ways that Joyful Noise that shows its uniqueness, because it's not like any other programs that we have here?
So we like when the kids are involved. It would be really cool if one day we could just stand back and the kids are running it by themselves. We have had students teach the other kids. We have had other students kind of help lead worship. We have students that are regularly helping with check-in, and they know the ins and outs of it. So we really like the kids being involved, and it being a space where they can learn how to serve.
I love that you said learn how to serve, because I think that we as adults can we think, we need to serve and we should just know how to do that. Well, kids don't know how to serve, and so we need that platform to be able to get teaching. And so I love that you're bringing that into your program. That is so special. So what about, how do you do with we've got a wide age of ranges that come to Joyful Noise. So how do you do all of that?
We have a wide range. We have 4-year-olds all the way up to 8th grade, some high schoolers that we're helping with some of the leading. And so it looks a little different each week depending on who's there, but there's lots of excitement and dancing.
That's awesome. Because you guys have been with Joyful Noise for a while, what are some of your past things that stand out to you, some of your fond memories, things that you really, really enjoyed about when Joyful Noise was open?
I really like seeing when kids when they surprise me. So sometimes they'll say something that is wise beyond their years, and super deep. Kids are thinkers, and sometimes when they just step up to the plate, and I don't even have to say, hey, these benches need to be moved, but they just do it. And I love seeing that, and I think as much as I love music, I think my favorite part is watching kids interact, because they are so capable, and it's just I love seeing it. So.
During the first one, we kind of talked a little bit about how kids are stepping out of their comfort zones in your space. So what does that look like?
Sometimes kids that might be a little bit shy or kind of don't, the older ones especially, a little one will come in and one of the adults might encourage them, hey, go and talk to this little one that's coming in, or tell them their name. So learning how to be welcoming. There are also kids that have tried new things like running the slides on the computer, or running sound. We have a student that's running sound, and he does a great job. So just learning new things, and being okay with making mistakes along the way, because that's part of trying new things. So.
And sometimes we have discussion groups where we kind of break out into smaller groups, and some of the older students will kind of get the conversation going and keep it,
Wow.
on track. Yeah.
So what are you looking forward to most as we kick off in the fall?
So we are tentatively planning a Christmas program, December 12th. Hoping it works out. And so I'm excited that we have something to work toward, and maybe it'll feel a little bit more normal than it has been. I forgot to mention last service, we're going to try and focus a little more on memorizing verses and using songs to do that, which I think will just be a really cool added thing that we
Yeah, that's so exciting. I love that you're bringing that memory into it, and especially with song, because my memory is terrible. But if I can sing
I
it,
do.
then there we go. I've got the Bible, so at least some of it. So I'm looking forward to my kids bringing those songs home to me too. We'll get to learn something as parents as well. Okay, so we are getting ready to launch, and as we get ready, how can we support you, Al?
Love a few more volunteers.
Okay.
And not necessarily every single week, but alternating or once a month or whatever you can do.
How can we pray for you? There's always things to pray for. So what is that?
Yeah, so I think specifically for Joyful Noise right now, it's prayer for learning how to listen to God, hearing God's heart, and holding our plans loosely. I think COVID has kind of been an exercise in that.
Yeah.
So I think just pray that we, as Joyful Noise, as a team, can listen to what God would like for us.
We will be praying for you guys. Thank you so much for joining us in the lobby today, and we look forward to getting that kickoff. So we are kicking off on September 19th. That's when Joyful Noise, during the first service, come to Joyful Noise, and then they can go to Kids Church if they want to. So you've got those options that can happen.